Yo, what's the deal? It's your boy Trav Moody here with yet another ranking and review. Today we've got the Mezco Toyz 112 Collective GI Joe lot. Yes, we are going to rank every single Mezco GI Joe figure from worst to best. This could be hours and hours of content because there's just 7 Mezco Joes. But that was quite a lot that we actually got in the last year. I reviewed a few of these and I did mini reviews with some of these. So we're not going to do full extensive reviews like usual. The 2 I didn't review, we'll do quick mini reviews. This will be a nice quick video. Bringing in the holiday cheer, lots of red and green, rolling out the red holiday carpet for a Mez Joe's. So without further ado, let's get right on to it with number 7. Kicking us off in the ranking of every Mez Joe is First Sergeant Conrad Hauser, aka Duke. Yeah, the leader of the Joes. One of the many faces of G.I. Joe here is turn heel. Yeah, babyface turn heel. Because of that freaking face sculpt. No, I'm just kidding. It's not because of the faces. I actually, in hand, really dig the face sculpt. They're better in hand than the Chunky Soup promo pics we thought we got. We're like, oh, look, it's John Cena and whatnot. All right, so look at the detail on Mezco Duke's face. He's more of a seasoned kind of guy. He's been around for a while. He's got some war scars there. He got the dimple. Very well done. You know, not the prettiest thing. I think a lot of times we look at Duke as like pretty boy or whatever, but yeah, this guy is badass. And then this is clearly Conrad's face after he's like, you kidding me? I'm 7? Freaking Duke. I'm number 1, bro. But yeah. Now, look at the sides here. From this helmet, I ended up getting some like stuff stuck. And that's just the least of my issues. Look at this. I had to like scratch it off. There we go. Oh man, look at that. Brutal, brutal. And that's nothing compared to what we're going to show off in a little bit. And there's a reason he's number 7. I mean, goodness, this is just atrocious. Yeah, you get these like sticky things. And I looked in Roadblock's helmet and I don't remember seeing this. And see, it looks like they were there. And so these actually were stuck to the side of his head. And now the residue from the sticky is inside. I don't know how necessary this even was. I mean, it's a valiant effort and a great attempt to add more comfort. I'm glad he's comfortable, but it's a damn toy. And no, the chief issue with Mez Duke is something I actually showed last night for a little bit on A Toy Kind of Mood. It's his damn backpack. It's so brutal. And I don't mean aesthetic-wise. Actually, a really good-looking backpack. It's got even soft goods on it. Well done. I wish they spent less on the aesthetics and how pretty and decoed out and design it was and more on the functionality. Look at those straps. They ripped right off. And it's too bad. I mean, he's got a very cool World War II feel compared to like the Hasbro counterparts and everything, you know, with the soft goods. You know, it feels just like I said in my Firefly Mezco review, action dolls. You know, the original action figures. The OG Joes from back in the day, the 60s and whatnot. And so the crazy thing is there's actually tabs there. So it looks like they would just tab in and out. But this one just has no chance in staying. Maybe I'll need some like Gorilla Glue or something. This one actually pegs in for a little bit. And then now it won't because I put the shovel in here, which we might as well take out. And it's a really cool looking shovel. It does like a full extension. It's articulated. And this is probably the place to put it if you were to look at Classified Duke's backpack, right? And I believe it was, yeah, it was Larry, Punk with Toys. Shout out to him. So that's the full backpack. And then when he opened this to try to get the shovel in, this whole thing snapped off. Now mine hasn't snapped off. And the reason is without the straps, this is able to articulate all the way down. But if you actually have the straps in, this top won't go any further than like this, see? It won't go any further than this. You have to almost rip them off in order to get it to fully articulate out, but then they're ripped off. And it's not like I ripped them off, they just came off when I put his arms through there. Elastics on backpack allow for additional storage. So yeah, unfortunately they didn't solve the problem here. And then this foldable shovel and all that stuff. And then we'll get into his secondary really quick. The knife sheath fell off, and they always fall off. And it kind of shows you, or you could go on your right or left, and it suggests, I believe it suggested the left for the knife. And I'll put that here, and it will eventually just fall off. It doesn't clip on tight enough there. And then worse, it asks you or tells you to put the grenades there. And usually I can get one to stay for a little while, but then one always, you just move around, it'll pop out. So delicate and slow with this stuff. I'm sure someone, I mean, let me know in the comments if like I'm doing any of this stuff wrong and I'm messing it up. I mean, help me out, right? And it's a cool looking concept, but these grenades don't clip. Not that it helped this in any way. I mean, look how loose this is. It's just crazy how loose this is. Maybe you gotta put them in both. I don't even, maybe that's better. You know, it's a little workaround. But yeah, just wild. And there's the mag. And then it suggests to put the, it fell off, and the grenade fell off anyway. It suggests to put the gun holster here. And same deal. I mean, I almost wish it could just fit in his pants too. You almost have to put it in both. I don't know. It's just, ugh, the functionality is just horrible. Hell, it took me like 10 minutes to put together the thumbnail for this because Duke, just everything kept falling off and falling off. Look at this holster. I mean, what is happening here? Is it because I'm hitting the pants? I don't know. It's not working for me. But that's the holster. And I'm not about to take all this off and all that. It's just not worth it. So I'm a little nervous to put this back on, but I definitely want to show you guys anyway. Can always maybe just take that sticky stuff out. But there we go. It's just massive. It looks like an old school NFL helmet. Yeah, it's pretty much, is it 1-to-1 with Roadblock? And it's just repainted. It would make sense, right? Yeah, it looks like it's the same. Yeah, it's the same one. All right, and since this isn't a full review per se, I'll just show you a few of his accessories and weapons. Really like the gun here on the barrel. It's all smoked out. I don't know if that's cracked paint or it's supposed to be like that. Either way, it looks pretty weathered. This is like the grenade launcher. And as always, they always give you an extra clips in case you lose them. They don't give you extra straps for a backpack in case you rip them though. Scope looks good. You got the gunfire, smoke effects, gigantic grenade. Everything looks really good. It's pretty hard. It's not pliable at all. Also comes with this bipod. You just slide that right on there. And yeah, there's not a whole lot of flexibility. It's sort of like where it goes. You almost have to take it off every single time, but gives you something to hold on to, and that looks pretty good. And then we got his rifle, kind of a Heckler and Koch .45 look. I know it doesn't have the foldable stock. It's more fixed. So you got that, but the barrel certainly looks like a 45. We'll see. But yeah, this pops right out. Comes with extras. And what's cool is they always put the bullet inside and everything, the shell casing. So it looks pretty dope. But yeah, they make terrific guns. You know, I mean, maybe just Gridiron might be the only company that rivals them when it comes to guns. But Mezco is certainly up there. I know Mark is a big fan of the way they do their stuff and give it a nice desert feel on this 45 mashup. Oh, then we got his sidearm. Really well done. Look at the paint and everything, and slides there. Yeah, excellent. There's just some additional blast effects that we got there. Also got one without the bullet. Got a really nice looking canteen. Has the GI Joe logo on that. It's not functional. Can't drink out of it. Can't hide shots. Drips of whiskey into a nightclub in your sock. But yeah, really cool looking. Don't know where it goes. Probably just goes in the backpack, but it's pretty nice nonetheless. Got his Noculars. Again, great paint wash and everything. Look at the lens. Really cool. Not sure if it fits on his person. Oh, what do you know? The grenade didn't fall off like everything else. And this would have been a great place for it. And what do you know? I think it fits in there. So it says the grenade should go in there. But this actually fits pretty, no, this is great. This is the perfect place to put it. It would have been nice to have the grenades on there, just like our boy in the classified ranks, or at least one of them, right? But they don't clip on. All right, and here's a side-by-side with our two Dukes. And yeah, this one's definitely a prettier one. But this one feels pretty authentic, you know? I mean, it looks like a more realistic, more Mezco-fied, for sure. Less like a toy, more like a doll, which is fine. And it's just a low-down dirty shame that, you know, they did this guy dirty with the functionality, because they definitely Mezco-fied Conrad Hauser to a T, but since the GI Joe Classified Retro Duke is already a near damn perfect figure and maybe the best classified of the year, this guy just didn't have a chance. And oh shit, we can't forget him stepping in shit, which is how he feels when he tries to put his backpack on. And the funny thing is, it stays on greatly, but when you go down to the ground, he doesn't want to stand until now. Because he's going to stand and make me look like a fool. But yeah, he just stepped in shit. All right, and then finally he's got this scarf, shamag looking thing, and it's a little rough only because it doesn't really show you how to do it, and you kind of have to do it. This looks to be among the best I've seen people do it. You kind of just, it's wired, you wrap it around, make it look like a scarf, maybe keep the rifle closer to him, but it feels like it's just eventually gonna like fold out or fall off, but I'm not sure. Maybe tie it behind the belt buckle there, just tuck it in or something, which could work. And yeah, maybe that'll work. There we go. Cool. But yeah, it gives him a little more Mezco personality if you use it, rather than just being just another Duke. Again, looks-wise, he's pretty badass. I mean, look at that angle. Looks awesome. Really, this Duke had far more potential than I thought he would. On one hand, I like it a lot better than I thought. Definitely would have been a 3.75 minimum, maybe a 4, if he didn't have so many issues with functionality and all that stuff. But that said, I can't go any more than a 3 out of 5 whiskeys for number 7, and that's Duke. Next up, it's number 6. It's the first Snake Eyes in the Mezco 112 collective line, and that's Snake Eyes V2 with Timber. And I did review this. The issues were that bandolier and secondary. What do you know? Another figure with issues there. Just the functionality around the torso, it just limited posing. And look, overall, they just didn't take any risks cosmetically with this guy. They didn't Mezcify him up. I do like when the characters have the Mezco touch. This Snake Eyes was just a Snake Eyes with some cloth goods. Maybe Hasbro has a hard limitation on their own Spider-Man in the G.I. Joe universe. On top of that, Timber isn't all that much better than the Hasbro version. 3.25 overall for Snake Eyes. You can see the full review in the description below. And now number 5, it's Roadblock. Look, the height and sizing was really the only issue there. I showed off in my Snake Eyes review and did a little mini review of this guy kind of at the end, kind of a hidden mini review. That's why you should watch all the content. And if you're watching for the first time ever, do like and subscribe. We go live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. We always have secret guests, special guests. You just never know who's going to show up. But check it out. I mean, overall, dig the Evander Holyfield likeness. Totally feels like a Mezco toy through all the deco and detail and everything. He just looks awesome, ripped in muscle, full of great effects. The only kind of weird thing, he's got this turret, and it's really cool and admirable, but you know, the functionality on this is not the best. And it's got this backpack, and you can kind of take it off, but then where does it go? And it's a can, and then there's just so much. I mean, sometimes they shoot for the stars, and it just doesn't always work. And then it's hard to get the backpack around him with the vest and the whole other thing. But it's not all that bad. Nothing like Duke and Snake Eyes for sure. At the end of the day, this guy's really cool. The only problem is he's just short. He's the shortest GI Joe character in the Mezco line, and he should probably be the tallest, at least till we get like a Serpentor or something, or Nemesis, which we'll never get those, right? But at this point, Roadblock is a very solid figure, close to a 4, 3.75 out of 5 on my man, Mez Road. Holy hell, this guy looks great on camera. It's number 4, Commando Snake Eyes. Might have to get bumped higher just based on the look of him right now alone. But yeah, overall, really dig him. He's the other new figure I haven't touched on yet in any of my prior videos, so a little more extensive than just hey, I reviewed this kind of thing. He was the Comic-Con exclusive, so we get some awesome packaging here, far different than everything else you could see. It's red and green, and he breaks up the whole holiday spirit going traditional Joe. But yeah, it just looks great with the black packaging. Hopefully we'll get more Comic-Con exclusives in the future. And look, while I was able to pre-order it, there were several hour lines throughout Comic-Con with all the damn scalpers. And that said, he is a version of a figure that was already out, so it's not like Casey Jones, damn it. Yeah, not bitter at all, guys, not bitter at all. But the key with this guy is, and if you could just tell by looking at him right here, he's just decked out in gear. And one thing I love is they didn't give him 10,000 sets of hands. They gave him 10 hands. So that works. You know, usually it's like 8 sets of hands. It's like, cool, but I'm paying for it. You get the grappling hook there. You know, it's got a string. It's got an explosion pack. It would have been nice to make some of the weapons not all black. Like even the bomb is black. You got like cool detonator and everything. And just lots of blast effects. Kind of what we just saw with Duke. And he's got a rifle here, an AR. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Just all black though. But really, I dig this pouch a lot. It's great. So far, the functionality is awesome. It's got nice Velcro there. He's got these flashbang grenades. You could fit all his little guns. He's got Mac 11s in there. I got clips. I've got all kind of different pistols. Fits around him really well. While the soft goods is kind of plain at first, once you deck them all out and gear him up, he looks good. He actually looks like he's got a 6-pack, which at first I was just like, oh, it's just like a fully black soft goods, nothing. But no, he's dope. The only issue I had with him functionality-wise were these crappy-ass bicep bands. And it's just this whole thing, man. Like, these straps really fall out. They are a pain in the ass. It's hard to keep these pouches from falling off the bands. You got to give them an ab crunch there to pull the knife out. But nice, really nice black with a silver blade. I really like the pleather there of the knife sheath. That's a really nice touch. And you get this MP5. It's really well done. And then all these different blast effects. And yeah, he's just, you know, plain and simple, great solid figure. Middle of the pack fig for Mezco. That's not a bad thing. I'm going to give him 3.75-4 out of 5. A little better than Roadblock, but not quite as good as Destro. Cobra's Arms dealer definitely has a fun Mezco feel to him. I mean, check out the face sculpts. The head sculpts are crazy. I mean, this one in particular is just a lot of fun. You don't see Destro with this kind of maniacal look too often, but that's what makes it a Mezco Joe. And that's very important to me, is not to just replicate what we can get for $25 for Hasbro, right? So them just giving us different options, different looks, making it fun, making it Mez fun. This lights up, but I left the battery on for too long. But you guys have seen it. This is the first GI Joe Mezco 2 release, and it's been a while. But one of my main issues is that this briefcase, the handle just snapped right off. And since I got it from Big Bad Toy Store, I let them know, and they're like, well, there's nothing we could do because you didn't buy it from Mezco Direct. So I thought that was kind of a bummer. And then now Duke I got through Entertainment Earth. So I don't know if it's good to buy Mezco through third party, although the shipping from Mezco is pretty atrocious. It's like 17, 18 bucks, or at least it was. That said, this Destro is fantastic. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 whiskeys. He wasn't all that much different from the classified version. Definitely better, a little Mezco-fied up, but maybe one thing missing to really make him superior. That said, very strong. Number 3 is Destro. All right, coming in number 2, it's Firefly. I reviewed him earlier this year. You can watch an entire full review I did on him. The best parts of him, though, is Firefly felt Mezco, especially with the apparel and the gear. He didn't come with a whole lot of weapons, and his backpack could have used more equipment or more utilization, stuff like that. But overall, he was just fantastic. He felt really good in hand. Aesthetically, super pleasing. I went 4.5 out of 5 whiskeys for Firefly at number 2. And number one, no surprise here, it's Storm Shadow. I think across the board, this is the most favorite GI Joe, Mezco of them all amongst my peers. And once again, I did a full review on this one earlier in the year. Bottom line, Stormy exceeded all of my expectations. Incredible articulation, but I just loved his look overall, especially the soft goods wired hood, just so cool. You can make him look deceptive, lots of fun. He had sick weapons, very great accessories. I mean, the ninja star effects were superb. But let's face it, it was a fantastic year for Mezco. Regardless of some of their business practices, they did make superb figures. I don't have Casey Jones, so I don't know what the top 5 is going to look like for 2024 Mezco, but definitely TMNT, Dick Tracy, Dr. Doom, some others. But Storm Shadow will definitely hold his own there. And in case you missed a review, I did give him 4.75 out of 5, so close to being perfect. Maybe the Tommy face sculpt wasn't the greatest, but I did think it was pretty solid overall. All right, guys, thanks for watching the Duke review and Mezco Joe full ranking and reviews. Who do you want to see next in the line for Mezco? I mean, is this it? We've got nothing announced. We've got nothing teased for Mezco Joe, which is just crazy knowing how Mezco operates, teasing things several months, no, years in advance, and we've got nothing. We don't have Cobra Commander. I know you want the hooded one. I mean, what about the women? What about Baroness, Scarlet? I mean, who do you want to see in the Mezco 112 Collective GI Joe line? If you dug the video, do give it a like, leave a comment. I love interacting with everyone. Let's talk about Mezco Joe and what the possibilities are. And also, do you agree with my rankings? What's your top 7? Leave it in the comments below. But for a toy kind of mood, I'm Trav Moody. We'll catch you in the toy aisle. Peace.